Hello. We good? My phone away. Now that we are all ready to go. I already posted the Instagram story. I'm a little bit later than I wanted to be, but I was finishing up tomorrow's second channel video because that was a disaster, but I kind of saved it. You'll see later on. How are we doing? I like how I select the stream before I start it in OBS so I can have all the stats in OBS on this monitor, and then it goes away as soon as I start stream. Like, why even give me the option? Hi bro, big fan from India. I've seen you in here. Hello. The name definitely looks familiar. You're the #1 chatter because you're the only chatter so far. But I'll give people a second to climb on in here. So today we've got an SP that has a lot of stickers on it. A lot of cool stickers. I mean, it's got Toy Story, specifically Buzz Lightyear, the cooler side of Toy Story, and some other, is it Chip and Dale, or at least one of them. And then we've got Patty and Jim Go to School on the top. I've never heard of Patty nor Jim, but good evening. Is it really the evening at 3 o'clock over there? I'll take it. I'll take a good evening, but I feel like that's the afternoon. I feel like 5 o'clock is evening. It's only 12:23 over here. Still feels like the morning to me, but it's the noon. It's not even the afternoon. It's still noon. You need to pay attention. You're about to do your first reshell this week. Well, I will try my best to walk you through it. It's pretty simple though. If you're not doing anything else, I just won't really be going over the top screen too much until the end. But tomorrow's second channel video is modding a PlayStation Vita to have USB-C. So the answer is yes, I do other consoles, but most of the other consoles for like selling, that Vita is not going to be sold and nobody wants it. You'll see tomorrow. But the reason why I don't really do any mods for the other consoles is majority of them are going to be mostly software mods. So like your PSP and especially your PS Vita, they're going to be software mods other than adding USB-C to it, or if it's a certain model of PSP, then an IPS display. But even then, it's really kind of pointless to do an IPS display on the PSP. And then like you have your Game Gears, but that's so much work for honestly not that much attention. So nobody really cares about Game Gear. I know there's people out there that do, but talked about this many times. This is the reason why I've never done a Game Gear video. It's because I know it just won't get that kind of views. But I've done other like home console videos, PlayStation 2, done 2 of them very recently. Yeah. Man, I never catch the live streams. This is awesome. How's it going? It's going well. I read your chat and you caught the live stream. Great day for you. That sounds a little arrogant. Anyways, let's see. My son busted the hinges on my childhood. Ooh, yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah. Well, I'll try and run through this. I'll go a little tutorial mode since we're only doing one mod today, but we do have a left button that is needing to be replaced. So I'm going to do that, and I have to clean the power switch as well, even though the power switch is working swimmingly, but it does need to be changed. Anyways, I'm seeing a lot of new names in here, and if you are a new name that is not spoken yet, say something in chat and I'll say hello to you. But that is what we're doing today. It's an all black SP as the title suggests, And as the description suggests, no, there is not an Eon ticket included with this. I just decided to reuse that from a thumbnail I did before because it brought in a lot of viewers. And so far, I think it's working. Anyways, we're doing the IPSV2 mod and we're reshelling it with this guy. But I will go over the poll real quick and then I will say hello and we'll actually get started. I asked, what did you think of the Nintendo Direct? Because I was seeing a lot of people that did not like it online. I thought it was pretty good. There's definitely things that were wrong about it I did not agree with. But welcome DC147. I don't know if I can really say welcome after your 35 months. Thank you very much. I love that you haven't even said anything yet. You just boom. This is proof I am not a new name. Yes, you're old. Is that what you wanted me to say, DC? Welcome. Thank you again for 35 months. That's crazy. I know there's a couple people ahead of you, but it's still just wild. It doesn't feel like I've been doing memberships for 3 years. But anyways, 31, I'll just end the poll real quick. 31% said that the Direct was awesome. They changed how they do the polls. They do it in like best to worst order. 57% of you said it was good. 7% said bad, and 3% said very bad. So I'm kind of in agreement with the whole of the poll. I think it's sick that we're getting. Let me go full face cam for this. I think it's sick that we have Virtual Boy coming. It's not till like February, which is kind of dumb, but I think that's sick that we have that, and they're doing like a headset with it. That's awesome. Should I not have gotten rid of my VR headset that I literally threw in the trash like a week ago? Probably not. Probably shouldn't have got rid of that. But I'm excited for that, despite having a Virtual Boy and a real one. But I think it's going to be sick that they bring it to the Switch, even though you can do the Red Viper 3DS emulation. That is really good if you have a 3DS. A great way to experience the Virtual Boy games, but I'm excited for it. $100 for the for the Virtual Boy headset recreation. A little much, but you know, we'll see. Is it actually worth it? Probably not. But I'm gonna get it. It's so cool. Yeah, the Galaxy 2 finally coming is awesome, but for $40, not awesome. And it only being physical in a combo with Galaxy 1 that most people who care about it already have, because that came out 5 years ago in a 3-pack with the other two earlier 3D Mario games. It's kind of dumb. $70 for Galaxy 1 and 2 on Switch. You can get Galaxy 1 and 2 for cheaper than that on the Wii and just soft mod it and make it look better. It's still not going to be as good as it is on Switch, but you know, I'm debating whether or not I want to get it. I think I might use my Amazon credit to get Galaxy 1 and 2, or maybe just ask for it for Christmas. So, yeah. Anyways. I think, yeah, you can also use the lava one, but I think the biggest disappointment for me coming out of the Direct was that I was expecting Luigi's Mansion to come to the GameCube Classics catalog, but no. Maybe they'll do that like the beginning of October or something, but it would have been perfect timing because I'm like trying to find a new game to play because I keep trying new games and end up not liking them. But all right, let's say hello to everybody, and then we'll get started here. We have, scroll up here. We got Monapa. I'm gonna go with that. I don't even know if you're in here anymore because you said something a while ago, but I hope I said that right. Number 304 Barbecue, X-Men Shadowcat, ZJ, Semi-Global, My Mom, Andrew V, Hoopo, DC, Dunjava, hope I said that right too, and my father, and a lot of repeat people chatting. Hello. How's it going? Actually about to do a shell and screen mod on my SP as well. It survived a house fire, but can use some love for sure. That's crazy. I'm building a Boxy Pixel DMG for a guy at my local bookstore. I think it's gonna be awesome. It sounds like it's gonna be awesome. Speaking of Boxy Pixel, if you want to join the mod squad like Mr. DC147 over here, you can watch the latest video. Hold on. Where I put this bad boy together, the hybrid GBA. That is this week's main channel video, and it is out now for the members. And yeah, you can hit that join button down below. I know there's a USB-C cutout. I'm using regular batteries, Soothing. And I'm sorry, somebody is deciding to mow the lawn right now. I don't know why it's so loud, because it's not in my apartment complex. But anyways, it's annoying. Even though you guys probably can't really hear it. Let's see. I'm modding a Wii with the HDMI mod. Is it the, which HDMI mod is it? And a blue case? Are you copying my, my charity event Wii? That's what I did about almost a year ago now. It's crazy how time flies. It's like 4 months away from being a year. Anyways. Yeah, I really want the Animal Crossing for GameCube to come to the classics. Hey party people. Hey Jodo Jerry and Timothy Abram from Belgium and Spain. Oh my gosh. I'm international. Alright, let's actually get started now. Enough chit chat. So, if you're trying to reshell your Switch, your SP, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tri-wing screws. Now, hopefully you have a tri-wing screwdriver. I don't think this has been opened before, because that was kind of tough to open. But hopefully you have one. If not, your shell should hopefully come with some crappy tri-wing and Phillips head screwdrivers to at least get you by. Keep in mind that these 4 on the corners are going to be longer screws than these 2 here and here. Organizing your screws is a very good idea, but why are we not coming out? Why are you so shy? There we go. These 4 are all the same, so that doesn't matter. But there are no other ones like it in this. From here, we've got 3 more Phillips heads. 1, 2, 3. These are all the same. There are no other ones like it in the rest of the shelf. Then I like to wiggle this. Doesn't always work. To try and get the buttons and membranes separated so they don't stick to the freaking motherboard. But you can pop this out. I'll zoom in for this because this can be a little tricky for first timers. I'm sorry that the camera is shaky. Surprisingly, my C-stand still wobbles. I don't know why. But we can take our fingernails and hopefully, I recommend not cutting your fingernails before you dive into stuff like this, just so you have a little bit of length. I don't really have much length for these, but just to be able to do things like this. We're gonna get our fingernails under there and pull them both down. This one's a little stubborn. You don't want to do it too aggressively because you don't want to rip the darker brown part out, but you just want to pull those down till they're about there, and your ribbon cable should flop out like it did once it's loose. And then you have your board separated. And from there, I'm going to take a quick pause on show. Actually, that's not true. I will show this hidden screw underneath here. You know what? We got the extra time. I'll show the full disassembly here. You'll probably want to remove your buttons. You might just want to end up using your original buttons or your aftermarket buttons if they come with it. But we can remove the speaker here, and I'm going to open it up like this. The buttons are going to fall out because, of course, they will. If you're wanting to reuse these rubber pads, it's going to be tough to remove them without ruining them. But your new shell should come with some new rubber pads, so it's not the end of the world. But you can take something like tweezers and rip it out like that. These ones are going to be nice. That one ripped off, but yep, I'm not even going to try anymore. I'm just gonna rip these out, and these ones have stickers on top of them, which is kind of making it hard to get underneath it. So there we go, and we got one more. Boom, and these are tri-wing. So we should swap to the tri-wing, but they are, I believe actually these are the same length as these two from the bottom half. At least they are with the aftermarket screws. You can use the aftermarket screws, but I actually recommend reusing your original screws if you can. But all 5 of these screws are the same, so we don't really have to separate them too much. What I'm doing here is removing the double-sided tape because they stuck to the screws more than they stuck to the rubber pads. And it's sticking to my fingernail. We got 2 more down here. Wow, pretty much all of them stuck except for this bottom left. Great. Yeah, my mom's in here. I said her name earlier. She's always in here. Anyways, now that we have those 5 unscrewed, we can close it up again. We can pop the back off. And if you're wanting to keep your screen, it literally should just flop out like that, because the loop-to-loop is in this part of the shell. And our screen is now safe and sound, but this is actually not a good screen. It's got marks on the screen. That's why we're replacing it today. Here we have access to our hinges, which I believe the shell replacement that we're doing this for, that I'm doing this whole spiel for, has the hinges broken, so I don't know if the hinges are still in there or not. You can use something like the small screwdrivers that you'll get to pop those out, but if you have a 3D printer, file for something like this, the SP hinge popping tool. I believe it's somewhere in the Discord, actually, if you want to join the Discord channel. Discord server, whatever. I'm not really a big Discord person, so you won't be seeing me in there too often, but I believe this is in there. This makes it a lot easier to pop the hinges out, but I really only do it for the one on the white side. You can just push it out, and I will do it old school since not everybody's gonna have access to one of these, but I will just do this real quick. You can push it around and try and like get this tool to go around all 4 of these little tabs. There's only 3 on this one because I'm assuming it broke off a while ago. But you can do that and then push out when it's open like this. That's the key, is have it open like that, and then it should pop out. You might have to take something like tweezers to push it all the way out. But here, since I'm gonna pretend I don't have that tool, I'm just gonna push these tabs in a little bit, trying to loosen them up because they probably haven't been moved at all. You may break one, it's okay, as long as you don't break all of the tabs. Move them a little bit and then push out. That was a little tough, but eventually got it out. Boom. Put that off to the side, and then the nice part is we can just wiggle this off and then push it the other one through with our thumb. Boom. Fully disassembled. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Now I'm going to take a break for a second. I'm going to fix the L button here and probably clean the power switch all at once here, and then we will resume with the reshelling portion of this. Hopefully that helps you. Anyways, there's a bit of dust in here. Let's get going on this. I like to actually read chat real quick. Hey, Retro Rich. Music is loud. It's louder than usual. Oh. I didn't even notice. Well, it's louder for you guys. My apologies. Hopefully I was talking loud enough to talk over it then. But anyways, I'm going to take my flush cutters because this is what I like to do for desoldering stuff like this. These through holes. Since we're not going to be resoldering this particular L and R button in, I'm just gonna snip it off like that. I like to block it so it doesn't fly into my face, because these pins will go flying when you do snip them. Except for these two, they just drop down. But I could use eyewear, eye protection, or I can just do that. Anyways, it makes it easier to desolder this. So I will go ahead and do. And I like to have the heat a little bit higher for desoldering. So I have it at 330. Well, I'm trying to have it at 330, but my iron keeps turning off again. Welcome, UDS. I didn't catch the rest of the name because I looked too late. Missed the start of the stream. What was your opinion on the Direct? I've expressed my opinions on Metroid. I love Metroid. I just don't really care for Prime. I tried Prime Remastered when it came out. Didn't get into it. I do plan on giving it a second shot because Prime 4 looks awesome. But it's just, I don't know. I don't like the Prime series as much as I like the 2D Metroid. So I think it looks cool, but I just don't think I'm gonna enjoy it. We'll see. But I'm gonna put some flux down, and then I'll reiterate my opinion on the Direct. I'm gonna flood this with solder, and then I'm going to pull it out with my tweezers. Okay, that's all. But anyways, my thoughts on the Direct were I liked it. I think a lot of people were overly hating it. I think it was really cool. Despite not liking the Switch Yoshi game, I think the new one that they announced looks cool. I'm excited for it. And the I think the $70 for the 2 Galaxy games is a bit of a ripoff, since if we didn't have it in 3D All-Stars, Super Mario Galaxy 1, if that wasn't in that combo, then I still think $70 for the 2 of them is kind of crazy, considering that it's a Switch game. It's not a Switch 2 game, it's a Switch game. So you're paying Switch 2 pricing for 2 Wii games that are remastered for the Switch. So I think that's a bit dumb, and I was expecting them to be $20 to $30 each. They're $40 each, or $70 together, and I don't really have a need for Super Mario Galaxy 1 on Switch, since I already have it on Switch. But I'm a physical collector, and I kind of want to get the physical copy because I want Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Switch. I have never played it before, and I kind of want to play it. I just used my glue twick to desolder or to remove the solder there. For those who are interested in this part of the video. Nope, that's the thing I just removed. Where's the new one? And stick this in there. Like that. There we go. And then I'm just gonna add some solder all 4 of those posts, and we'll be done. But continuing on with my opinion, I want to play Super Mario Galaxy 2. I think I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like it more than Super Mario Galaxy 1, but I'm just at a point where I'm like, okay, do I buy it physically? Do I buy the single game digitally for $40? I don't know. I think I'm just going to buy it with my Amazon credit that I've racked up, or say, please, someone get it for me for Christmas. Thank you. Yeah. That is all. I'm just going to touch this up. I think it could be better. Alright. Then I'm going to clean the power switch while we're here. I am excited for Virtual Boy games to come to Switch. I think that's going to be cool. The entire library, Japanese, North American, European, all of them. And it sounds like they're going to drop them all at once. They should. If they slow roll that, that's going to be lame. They're already slow rolling the GameCube collection way too slow. We only have 4 games. Come on. And again, where the heck is Luigi's Mansion? It's almost fall. It's practically already spooky season. Give me Luigi's Mansion so I can play that for the first time. I know, it's crazy. I'm a GameCube fanatic, and I've never played Luigi's Mansion. Well, I think this Halloween is finally the time. Despite, I did try it on my Steam Deck a while ago, but I didn't get into it because I don't like playing GameCube games on the Steam Deck. I need the weird GameCube layout. It's my biggest opinion when it comes to emulating. I have no problems with emulation, but I typically don't like to emulate Nintendo games because I want to play it the way it was meant to be played, aka the controls. So that's why I like my handhelds and playing on original hardwares. I can use the Wii remote or even the gross Wii U controls. If that's the way it's meant to be played, that's how I want to play it. The Wii U I'm fine with emulating for the most part, since it's mostly a normal layout, and the double sticks on top is disgusting. So yeah. Anyways, I'm getting a little off track here, but the last opinion I have about the Direct, it's actually probably not the last, but I had something in my head that I didn't mention earlier, and then I was like, oh yeah, I should talk about that, and then I forgot again. What happened? Don't care about Mario Tennis. Hopefully it's a good game, but I'm probably not going to buy it if it's going to be a $70 game at launch. I don't care about tennis that much. Yoshi looks good, like I said. Oh, the Pokemon DLC being announced before the game's even out and being able to pre-order it before the game's even out. It's dumb. It's really dumb. It makes it feel like this was a part of the game from the get-go. But I don't think it would have shocked anyone if the game ended up having DLC even like a couple months after or a year later or whatever. Because the past few Pokemon games, besides Legends Arceus and Let's Go, have had DLC, so it's like, oh, it's not shocking. I said that, and then it had the exclusions. There's only 2 Pokemon games that have had DLCs, but they've had two-part DLCs. So I kind of just expect that as the norm now. But it's just a little weird that it's coming. Well, did they even say when it's actually coming? Because I don't think it's actually coming like launch. But when you announce DLC before day one, it definitely sounds like you made an incomplete game and you're charging more money for the rest of the game. Even though that's what DLC is. Anyways. Usually that's kind of an afterthought. Okay, I think we're done with soldering. That's a lie. We're done with soldering for now. So we obviously need to solder the one wire for button controls or the IPS screen. Anyways. I love plastic. Plastic's great. I was honestly about to blow a fuse when they started the Prime trailer with a bike. I was thinking, if they're announcing Samus in Mario Kart World before the game release date, I don't know what I'll do. Yeah, it was, I think it just made it look cooler. I was a little confused. I was like, is this a new game? I didn't even think Mario Kart when I saw the bike. I was just like, is this a new spin-off game? And then I was like, oh no, this is just a part of Prime 4, but hey. It definitely looks more appealing. It makes me want to play it even more, but I still just have to keep in mind, you know, I didn't really like Prime 1. It's mostly the controls, and I got lost. I don't like getting lost in games. I got so lost that I spent like a couple of days trying to figure out where I was supposed to go, and then I was just like, you know what, I can't figure it out, I'm done. I think I'm like halfway through the game, I don't know. And at this point, I think I'm so lost that it would be pointless to try and figure it out now. So I just need to restart it, but yeah. I don't feel like trying to restart it again now. Maybe I should, because when I got into Metroid right before Dread came out, and that was good for me. And I started with the first Metroid game too, so it was Zero Mission, yeah, but it was the first one the series, technically. Okay. And I'm gonna get this half-used paper towel out. And we are going to do a little bit of that and a little bit of that. And then a little bit of that. And then a little bit of this. Try and get rid of the flux as best I can there. Yeah, good enough. It's no clean flux, so it doesn't really matter, but I like to make this stuff clean. Get it in there a little bit. And cover your ears in 3, 2. Probably isn't that loud, but I know some people are a little sensitive. And I don't know how many of you are wearing headphones. Okay. Yeah, I cracked up about the DLC announcement for Pokemon already. Yeah. I mean, it's not like... Were they really worried that the game wasn't going to sell well as Pokemon? Like, it's literally the most valuable franchise in the world. Pokemon is bigger than Disney. I nearly took my thumbnail off getting the SP hinges out. My GBA needs its switch clean, but I never soldered before. Quite bothersome, but hopefully I can do it. Honestly, it's a lot scarier than it looks. Or it's not as scary as it looks. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It is not as scary as it looks. If you have flux, if you have... Honestly, I love my lead-free solder, but if you're only going to be doing it a little bit and you're in a well-ventilated area, it'll probably be easier to just get some lead solder because it will melt easier and you should have a bit of an easier time. But to each their own. The big thing is flux. Get a little flux. Soldering will be so much easier. I didn't go too long in my soldering days without flux, but as soon as I got it, I'm like, wow, why is that not the number one thing that everybody says when they are teaching somebody about soldering? I don't get it. But anyways, we can open this up and get this stuff out. Shout out to Flux. Big shout out. Huge. I owe my channel to Flux, really. I owe a lot of my success to Flux. And I'm honestly not even exaggerating. I am going to swap out all of the buttons here because we're going all black. Flux is a magical little serum that I'll show off again in a bit here, but because I still have one little bit more of soldering to do. But it is genuinely magic. It is the closest thing to magic that we have in this world. You put it down where you want to solder, and you put some solder down on any of these gold pads. And as long as you have flux there, boom, it's going like almost perfectly, if not perfectly, right to the only places that solder should ever stick to. It's mind-blowing. There is flux in the core of most solder. Like when you see rosin core, that means there's flux in it. But that's not always like the easiest. Like it's not always gonna be easy with it. Because honestly, you can never have too much flux. At least with the flux I use, it is sticky, so it's nice to clean it up, but it's no clean flux, so you don't have to clean it up. And I will just slather that stuff on, and then all my dreams come true. I can't really oversell it. No, I can't. It's not gonna make you solder with your eyes closed and your arms tied behind your back, but it is extremely helpful and a difference maker. But yeah, I will say the power switches can be tricky to tear apart. But if you have tweezers like I have, or something that's small enough that you can stick underneath the metal tab and just lift up one side and then lift up the other side, it's helpful to add a little solder to each side before you do that. And then you can take like a Q-tip if you have like a small enough Q-tip, but getting a fiberglass pen, I know it all adds up, but if you're gonna be doing stuff like this, which once you learn soldering, you don't really want to stop fixing things. The problem, getting a fiberglass pen, you can get them in like a 3-pack for like $6 or $7 on Amazon, and that will clean up the switch and the like inlay, the thing you put the actual switch in. It'll clean both of those things up super easily. And they can also clean up stuff like oxidization on your speaker pins if you're working with an SP. Your button pads if you're working with any of the other Game Boy models. It is beautiful. Okay. From here, what shall I do? Let's go back a little bit here. Let's open up this, get these things out, and we'll continue on the teaching path. If you were wanting help on how to put in new buttons, I'm sorry I didn't run through that, but I'm assuming the new shell you got already has the buttons pre-installed like mine did, and I just swapped them out in case I wanted to. But we can take our 2 halves like that. I guess I need to get this out. I will read chat while I'm getting this stuff out. Balling up my trash. Been watching for some time, thought this was a video. Nope, we're live, baby. It's a little weird. I didn't want to call you Bob and baby, Bobby. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. I have trouble with flux getting under the LED board mods, needing to tear down and clean again. Yeah, but no clean flux makes it not, doesn't make it, it's not an issue with no clean flux. That's what I'm trying to say. Sentences, words. According to the ever-reliable, never-wrong Google AI Assistant, flux helps make the molten metal wetter. Didn't know wetter was a word. Which helps it flow more easily to other metal surfaces. That's not a bad description. I like to use the word magnet because to me, it reminds me of a magnet. It like magnetizes the solder magnetizes to any of the other metal spots it's supposed to adhere to. Adhere is another good describing word for flux in soldering. Yeah. But I do like how you put wetter in quotation marks. Ah, gotcha. Then yeah, you should clean that up. Yeah, that is the bummer part about no clean flux. I mean, I think all flux is just sticky by nature. But I don't know. I had some. I did have some flux that was like liquid, like this, and you would just squirt it on in a bottle just like this. In fact, I used to confuse my my flux remover with the liquid flux that I had. I did not like it because it would like pop when you actually did put heat on it, and that was annoying. I did not like that, so I stopped using it. We can put our screen, yours since it's OEM is going to be a little bit different than mine, but we can put it in like that, and then we can take the ribbon cable and loop-de-loop it. Since yours is OEM, you should probably keep that loop-de-loop shape. You're going to want to make sure that none of the plastic is going to pinch it, and you won't have foam because yours is going to be thicker than this screen. But we can take both halves and just put it on like that. We can let go of the ribbon cable. We want to make sure it's still free though, at least somewhat. Then we can take our tri-wing screws in the tri-wing screwdriver, and we can screw one in. Then I like to go to the other corner. Doesn't really matter which corner you start on, but screw the cross ones in, and then you can probably let go of the plastic at that point. And it's just best practice to go to all four of the corners, but it really doesn't matter. I've done it in probably every order possible. It all shakes out the same, unless I did something horribly wrong. But boom, we got those in, and then we can take our rubber pads. Two big ones, two biggest ones are in the corners, the top right and top left. And then the other three are all the same. Can go in the bottom two corners and the middle. Boom. Put that off to the side for a second. And actually, not for too much longer. We'll bring it back. And we'll do our last bit of soldering here. Now, I do not recommend soldering on top of a plastic bag. I'm an expert, so we're going to do it fast. Actually, you know what? We're going to do it a little bit smarter than this. Obviously, if you're using an OEM screen to reshelve this, you're not going to need to worry about soldering. But I'll even zoom in here all the way so I can demonstrate the magic of flux. So I will do it two ways here. I'm just gonna put some solder on my tip real quick. Just gonna do it like that, and I'm gonna let it burn off for a second because I think I'm just gonna do it the correct way. If I if I do it the correct way, it's not going to it's gonna work well how it should, because I just don't know how to mess it up anymore other than this. But now that I've got solder on my tip, I'm just gonna put it on here. Don't do it this way, but this is to demonstrate how beautiful flux is. As you can see, my solder is out of focus. My solder is not good there. It is all sorts of messed up. So if I take my flux and I put some down, and then I tap it again, that is a perfect half spherical ball of solder. Just by doing that with a little flux. Is that not wild? Is that not magic to you? But if I just put some flux down on the pad that I want to solder to, and then I do it however I please. I could do it in the weirdest way. I could literally just tap it like that. It's gonna be a perfect solder ball. That's just how amazing flux is. I don't even have to try. You probably still have to try it if it's your first time, but it will make life so much easier. And I guess before I put the soldering iron away, I should actually solder the wire. But we can, for now, just solder that. I'll put the soldering iron down for a second. We'll zoom back out, return to demonstrating how to reshell. I'm going to take my screen, and yours won't have a wire attached to it if it's OEM, but I'm going to stick, why are we out of focus? I'm going to stick the wire and the ribbon cable through like this, and so we can fold up the halves like so, and have our ribbon cable sticking out like that. I'm going to put that down for a second, and we're going to go back over to our hinges. I'm assuming you're using the same color shell, but either way, you'll probably want to pop off the hinge covers. They only slide on and off one way. Then you can slide them on, which there is a little bit of a notch at the end here. I know I'm zoomed out. I'm not going to zoom in for this. There's a little bit of a notch at the end of the metal disc on here. And then there's a cutout on the cap. Just slide it towards that cutout, and then it'll all line up. If you're trying to put it on and it's not working, you're forcing it the wrong way. But it's something that took me a couple of tries to figure out why it wasn't working. That was a long time ago. Anyways, you've got most likely one with a black end and one with a white end. Sometimes they're identical and it doesn't matter. But yours will probably actually be identical because it's the later models, the 101. But if you have a white end and a black end, you take the white end and stick it through this side where we have the gap. And you'll want to stick it through where the gap in the plastic cap is sticking out like this towards the ports. You push it into here. It's not going to go all the way in. And then you can do the same thing with the other side. Same air gap sticking port side. Pushing it in till it's almost all the way in. And then we put a little pressure on both sides as we open it up. And once it gets to the open position, they will just slide in. It's beautiful. It's magical. Almost as magical as flux. Then we can drop our speaker back in because it fell out from earlier. We can take this piece that goes over the rest of the ribbon cable, stick it down. It also only goes in one way. And then we can take our long Phillips head from earlier and screw that back in. There. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to grab this square nut from out of the new screws because we will need that later. We'll put that off to the side for a second. But we're going to do the last bit of soldering. And we're going to solder this wire to this point on the board that we soldered earlier. And again, that flux is just going to make this magical. Didn't even put new flux down. It's still just beautiful working from earlier. We have made that connection. We've ensured that there's no shorts. And we can stick our ribbon cable out like this. I like to put my finger on it as soon as I have it stretched out. Slide it in there because our tabs are still open from before. And then I just go back and forth, locking those two tabs down until they're both all the way down. And then make sure the ribbon is tucked behind this post, or the wire. Again, if you're OEM, that doesn't really matter. And we can fold it over like that, put it into position. Then we take our 3 motherboard screws. 1, 2, and 3. If you have not cleaned out your power switch, I recommend doing that now before we button it up too much. We take our other half, our last piece. These are more like quarters than halves. We can shove our new square nut in there. We can make sure that the power switch is in the off position. Same thing with this piece of plastic here. We can fold it over, scrunch it down, swap to our tri-wing again. Then I like to just drop all 4, after removing the dust off the top of them, of these golden longer tri-wing screws. Drop them in those holes. Boom, 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 boom. Don't screw them down yet because I like to do these ones first, and I actually like to swap these ones. So the one that used to be out here is the one in the battery compartment, and the one that was in the battery compartment is now in here. Bonus points, you could swap the one that was exposed to one of the ones for the tops. Excuse me, for the top. And then you could have 2 shiny screws down here. I like to swap it because this one that used to be over here is usually pretty dingy from use, and the one that's in the battery compartment has been protected all these years. So it's nice and shiny. It makes it look nice and crisp and new. And then we can screw the last 4 in. And again, best practice to do corners and just alternate corners. But again, I've done them all different ways. It does not matter. Now we can take our battery, slot that in. It only goes in one way, but do not force it in the other way because you could just break your entire console. And then we can slot the battery cover in there. And I'm not even going to bother putting the new bit on the screwdriver because I can just do it with my hand, with my thumb. And we should be able to slot this in there, turn this on, turn the volume all the way up, hear the sound, and we're loading into my test cart. Hold A and B at the same time. A, B, R, L. Look at that. Our new L button works beautifully along with every other button, and you can adjust the brightness. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you mod and reshell Game Boy Advance SP. Alright, let's recap. I also love the descriptor magnetic in general. Magnesium is such a cool thing to me. Magnesium? Magnetism? Maybe? In the case of flux, I think it creates a matching surface tension between the two metals, pulling them together. Yeah. Thanks for all the tips and advice. You're the best. You're welcome. Funky. Hopefully I can acquire some. It's not that hard. I have 3 links in the description for... Hold up. For my tools, my favorite mods, and replacement parts. Under the tools one, you can find my soldering iron, the solder I recommend, and the flux that I use. The solder I actually get is from Home Depot. I don't have a link to it for Amazon, and I guess I could probably find the Home Depot link and link that in there. But that would give me affiliate revenue. So that's probably why I didn't do it before. But yeah, those 3 links go to my website, and I usually try and update it, but it has been well over a year since I've updated those links. So most of it still stands true, but it's the Chipquick SMD291NL. That is what I use for flux. It's no clean flux. It is sticky. It is a little smelly, but not gross smelly. Don't inhale the smoke though. And use a well ventilated area when you use it. Yeah. What temp am I working at? I usually work at 300, sometimes 330. When I'm desoldering, it's usually 350 or higher. Yeah. But usually 3 to 330 C is pretty good. It's really neat to see in an application like that. Well, you're welcome. It's really cool. It's still you saw my reaction. That's genuine. I think it's so cool. Every time. A lot of time I am going through the motions, but once I sit there, really think about what is happening there, it's so dope. Just got my GBC today. OMG, what a game changer. OLED screen looks amazing. Did you buy one from me? Is that what you're saying, or did you get it yourself? Either way, yes, the OLED screen does look amazing. It's awesome. Hoping I can use my brother's crappy soldering kit instead of buying my own to do that one wire on the SP and power switch. It should work. Again, use flux and you shouldn't have a problem. But if you do need to buy one, I have a $20, maybe a little more expensive now, the $25 starting kit that includes pretty much everything you need. It's not going to be flux like this in a syringe. It's going to be like a paste that you have to smear onto it like cream cheese on a bagel. But it'll come with everything you need and more. It's really awesome for $20-25. Yeah, and it's on Amazon, so it'll be there real quick. But yeah, I recommend that. That's what I started with. It did me well for a while. And then I got this much more expensive thing. I've had 2 different versions of it, and I just get really frustrated with the power supply always breaking because of the angle and all that. Anyways, sometimes expensive isn't always better. What my point is. But actually, the very first time I soldered, I used my dad's crappy soldering iron. So yeah, it worked just fine. Well, actually, I broke a DS trying to solder, but that's because I didn't have flux. Anyways, magnetism, yeah, I figured it was autocorrect. Cool beans. Oh, did you buy the clear red one from last week? Is that what it was? Because both of those sold instantly. Not instantly, but very fast. One of them sold instantly. Thank you, by the way. Have you ever tried combining the Funny Playing GBA modded motherboard and the high-speed Edo HDMI out plus screen kit? I've combined a high-speed Edo screen kit with the motherboard. I have not done it with an HDMI mod. I've actually never done an HDMI out mod for any of the Game Boy models other than the docking one, which would technically be a USB-C out. But I've never had like a mini or micro HDMI sticking out of the console before. I'm sure it would work, but high-speed Edo screens do not play well with the Funny Playing motherboard. Because Funny Playing is dumb, and they revised it. The second revision, the newest one, does not let sleep mode work with any other screen kits other than the Funny Playing screen kits. It's dumb, it's stupid, I hate it. I've called them out on it, nothing happened. It's stupid. But yeah. They what was I gonna say? They used to work. The first revision worked just fine. I sold a couple that the sleep mode worked with it. Other than that, it's just sleep mode that doesn't work. And honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's just annoying that they would do that. I feel like it was on purpose. Even if it wasn't, they have not tried to fix it, to my knowledge. And I don't think they care to. And I told them about it, and they're like, yeah, you need to use one of our screens. I'm like, that. They tried to blame it on the other screen makers. I'm like, no, that's crap. It worked before. Why doesn't it work now? You changed something. What was it? Anyways, the USB-C docking one. I did not use it with that one. And I no longer have the USB-C docking GPA. Or do I? No, I sold that. I have heard of the company. I don't like to talk about them. If you want to Google their thing or search them on Reddit, you can see all the information why. But yeah, generally, I just try to keep myself out of the drama. But there's a lot of drama with that company. So whether or not they're in the right or wrong, there's a lot of drama that follows them. So. But from what I have seen, I do think they're in the wrong with things they've done. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not getting into it. Put that off to the side. I will put all my garbage away. Well, why don't I do this? I will list the SP right now. And then, yeah, I'll list it. If you want it, you can buy it. RetroRemaster.com. Top link in the description. If I have any moderators in here lurking around, you want to add the direct link to the chat, or the link that's in the description to the chat, that'd be great. Black SP. I gotta find the listing. Adding one to inventory, making it active in 3, 2, 1. It's up. RetroRemaster.com. Top link in the description. Does not come with the Eon Ticket or any games. It's just for the thumbnail. I've never even seen the Eon Ticket in person before. I've never seen it in front of me, but it is listed now if you want it. And I'm gonna gather up all of the trash from this. Actually, you know what? I think more importantly, I should get the sticker on the back, and then we can end the stream. I don't care about these aftermarket screws. We can put all of these buttons with this shell. Gosh, falling apart over here. Okay, I think that's everything cleaned up ish. Thank you, Father. Peel this off. Actually, don't line it up by the middle, line it up by the side. Because if you line it up by the middle, it always ends up sticking off to one side. Usually the right side. So I line it up with the left side, make sure it's straight, and then it is usually pretty darn good placement. This is like near perfection. Nice. All right. That is it. If you want this all black SP, it's still up for grabs. Just want to make sure before I said anything. It is up for grabs. And if you want to just do me a little favor and, well, it's really blown out. You just want to hit that subscribe button, maybe ring-a-ling the ding-a-ling bell, as my good friend Austin would say. He also says my good friend every time he's talking about somebody else. But anyways, that is all for this stream. That's inaccurate. But we're past double now. That we've doubled that subscriber count. But anyways, that's about it for this stream. Thank you all for watching. If you want to hit the like button on the stream, that'd be great. Helps get my streams out to more people. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing next week on the stream. I'm waiting on Game Boy Advances to come in so I can finally restock those. I only have 2 left. So if you want an all pink, all clear pink GBA or an upgraded motherboard, the Funny Playing motherboard, Charizard, Mega Charizard Y, I think. Those were the only 2 regular Game Boy Advances I have left. But now I've got 10 options of this. I think I have 9 options, maybe 8 options of Game Boy Colors. I need to buy more Game Boy Colors as well. And everything else should be 10. I'm waiting on N64s to restock those, but I've still got 3 of those options available. I think I have 3 GameCubes available as well. Yeah. Oh man, you're tuning in as it ends and as my talking abilities are dwindling. I think I need to take a break, even though I'm planning on recording a little more today, but my mouth is floundering right now, so I'm gonna end it right here. So thank you all for coming out and watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Buy a shirt. I keep forgetting to shout out my shirts. Buy a shirt. RetroRemastered.com. If you're made in the 90s like me. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. Buy a shirt, please. They don't sell well.